What's up, guys? It's your boy, Coach B.
Hey, and it's Cammie. We're so happy to be with you here today. As you guys know, we are transitioning and changing our theme for the next few weeks to
That's right.
health
That's
and
right.
wellness. We want to focus on total wellness for your mind, body, and soul.
Mm-hmm.
And today we're going to focus on that body, y'all. That
Getting right.
body.
Getting right.
Yeah.
We have a special guest with us, Brian Magee. He has been a personal trainer since 2014. And guess what, guys? I personally know him as a personal trainer because guess what? Last year I was training under him, and
Yeah.
he is
Yeah, say
everything. He
that.
is the truth, y'all. He's been working out way well before 2014, and he's here to help us out, get us focused into health and wellness with the physical. Okay,
Uh-huh.
welcome,
What's
Brian.
up, B? How you
Thank you.
doing?
What's happening? What's happening? Thank you. Thank you guys so much
Okay,
for having
no
me on.
problem. You feeling good today? We got
Yeah.
Brian over there in his own gym. He got his home gym going
That's
on.
right.
Look like he was
Yeah.
getting it in early, and
Listen,
we like
this
that.
is my man, this is the bat cave right here. It's where it all goes down. No gains lost
Nice.
during
So,
coronavirus.
B Mac, tell us a little bit about yourself, man. Give us a little quick history. Camila kind of said a good thing, but give us a little bit of information just with your background, pretty much.
All right. Well, as far as fitness goes, it's something I gave my attention to years back. And when I first got into the gym, there was an older gentleman who was in the gym. I was one of those guys, those newbies who would come in and do all the equipment and just look at the side of the machine, the instructions on the side, and just do that for like 5 pushes, 5 reps, and go to the next machine.
Wow.
And it was this old dude, just straight up old school dude, New Orleans, guy from New Orleans. My father's from
Oh
Louisiana,
wow.
so he was
Louisiana.
just in
I'm
this
from New Orleans
in
as
his
well. That's
southern
crazy.
in his old school southern way, just asked me what I thought I was doing, and it kind of guided me through the process, man. And so I just from that moment picked up from there, did my own study, my own research, continue to grow, continue to read, continue to learn. And then along the way, it would always be just random people come up asking me questions, and I would be able to assist and help them. And then I just started reaching out to more people. And from that, more people got drawn into that, and it developed its own, snowballed into its own thing,
Wow.
Wow.
and it just blossomed. And to one day, man, it was I had so many different people that were coming to the gym that the people who worked there started to have a problem with it. And the funny thing is, I've been going to this gym forever, and they were just like, "Yo, he has a lot of people come in, not any of their
Mm.
clients, just brand new people." So I knew the manager that came in to talk to me. She was like, "I'm cool with you training here, but we'd have to take a percentage." And I was like,
Wow.
we're not doing that." So
Wow.
I jumped out there and I just got a spot, and then started building equipment, getting the equipment piece by piece, and started having people come to my own location, and it grew from there. And there grew more fit,
Wow.
you know,
Beautiful.
and it just blossomed, man.
That's
Wow.
good.
Wow.
That's
I
good.
love that
Wow.
Yeah,
story. And especially
yeah,
the Louisiana roots, Coach B's from New
yeah.
Orleans.
Pops
So
from
we always
my
have
father from. Oh yeah,
love that.
yeah. My father from Franklin.
Okay.
Yes.
My
Yeah,
father's from
know
Franklin,
exactly what you're
Tennessee.
talking about. That's amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what would you say your philosophy is for training? Do you have like a certain philosophy in terms of how you work out, how often for other people, or does it just vary with the person?
If it don't hurt, it don't work. No, but
Okay.
it's I think you have to meet each individual where they are,
Mhm.
right? And because everybody has a different starting point. You can't meet person A and think that they're person B, therefore give them what you would give person B. Each person comes with a set of capabilities that they have when they meet you, and so you meet them at that set of capabilities, and you expound on that. And so is there's no cookie
Mm,
cutter that you can have across the board for each person that comes to you or each person that you're trying to train, because no two people can do the exact same thing the exact same way, and especially in the beginning. So I try to figure out, do a quick assessment of where everybody is, and then slowly but surely grow off of that. And some people may need to learn how to do squats from the basics. Some people may need to learn how to do curls from the basics, tricep extensions from the basics, lunges from the basics. Some people may already have that, so then we can start adding weight. It's just, it's a lot of it is a basic principle, but it all goes back to meeting the person where they are and then growing on top of that.
Wow, that's so true. When you
Yeah.
just saying that part about lunges and
good.
squats is, I guess that's what I learned. Like when you go to the gym or even training with you, you start to realize like everybody is on a different level, and you'll be surprised because everybody seems to look at the world from their viewpoint. So you realize like, oh, y'all didn't do any type of activities like or sports
Right.
in school or anything. Like it's definitely a whole group of people that I've met throughout my lifetime, even like in healthcare, where they're like, I don't know how to do that. And they're like 40 some years old, have never done like a
Mm-hmm.
true workout. So wow, that's
Mm-hmm.
like so
Mm-hmm.
true what you said.
And the crazy thing is, the age really isn't a factor on your capability or the amount of weight that you can push. It's just a matter of doing it correctly. You can have a 21-year-old who has a problem doing squats with 125, but it's because of his knee placement. You can have somebody that's 75 that has no problem squatting that same weight because he knows how to balance his body and he knows what position to put his body in when he's doing the squats. So, it all goes back to the basic fundamentals of weightlifting and bodybuilding when it comes to, training your clientele.
Wow, I like that.
Yeah.
So what would you say,
Yeah.
for people, well, we all kind of know what the benefits of exercise
That's
and
true. That's true.
health are, but what would you say are your key aspects when you're trying to encourage people to exercise? What would be the benefit for them? Like
Yo, it's crazy. Like working out has so many more dense, deep, and rich benefits than just the physical aspect. You know what I mean? Like I've seen people who've come in with depression leave with a completely different mindset because it's therapeutic. And you know what I mean? And it's all, for me, it's always been more, it's almost like about like soul food, you know what I mean? Where you sit down to eat, but when you get up from the table, there's a deeper connection that you have with the people who sat down at the table. You know what I mean? So when it comes to the weight training, there are people who've come in with depression and these different type of issues with low self-confidence, who didn't have a lot of self-confidence, who get up and lead, who walk out differently, who can leave with their head high. Not because they were able to curl 15, 20, 35 pounds, but it's the transaction of energy and, conversation that takes place while we're there, when we're together, where, where you can, it's a safe space to where you can express what's going on. It won't leave these four walls. You know what I mean? You can express what you're dealing with and it won't leave these four walls. And if I have anything that can add to you, that can benefit from you to you, then I'll give you that, from what I've learned in my years. But it's so much more than just curling. You know what I mean? It changes people's mentality. You know what I mean? So that's the thing. It's not just being able to look in the mirror and seeing that you got a flat stomach, or being able, to look in the mirror and see that you put on some good weight. But it's the mental aspect. It's to be able to look in the mirror and be proud of what you see and who you see as an individual, as opposed to just that physical aspect, man. It's so much deeper than what you think you see. I'm in the media.
You know what's crazy, B Mac, when you say that, man, I was playing ball and also in the college and collegiate level. And I remember some people always come to me and they always say, when I feel like I relieve stress. And it's crazy because you mentioned that, because so that'd be really working out is pretty much a stress reliever as well.
Very extremely.
Wow. So
oh my gosh, extremely.
I mean, people, but I always tell people at first, I used to think, oh, if you lift weights, you're going to get stretch marks and you're going to get that. But be honest to you, weights is cardio. People don't even realize that. Explain a little bit of that side, that where they don't understand weight room or training period is cardio without even running.
Well, when you're looking in aspects of cardio, it's the increase in your heart rate that allows you to burn more calories, right? That your heart rate going up, which is pumping more blood, which is causing you to burn more calories. So there is a type of weightlifting and weight training that you can do, or that you can have, to help you burn calories quicker, as opposed to just the weightlifting. So CrossFit is one of those things, and then you can you can go from doing the quick curls to the jump rope to the push-ups to the burpees. Those type of things will help you to burn calories quick also. You know what I mean? And as you're putting on the muscle, which is what I tell people. Okay, so in weight training or in bodybuilding, you have seasons. right? For the bodybuilder. For the bodybuilder, there is a cutting season and there's a bulking
Oh
season,
wow.
right? So when you're bulking, you're increasing your caloric intake. So you're eating a lot more to develop areas that are lacking. So say, for example, somebody might say, I want wider lats. I want, a bigger back. So during their off season, which is the bulking season, they increase their caloric intake and they lift heavier when it comes to those type of exercises, focus mainly on the back.
Mm.
So that in the summertime, or when you're getting ready for the summertime, you can start dropping those calories so that you can see the muscle that you develop. So it's different. So you can have a cardio type of exercise when you're doing the burpees because you're changing it now. You're trying to burn the fat and show the muscle that you develop. So it's different. It's an easy way to be able to build muscle and burn fat
Wow.
Good.
That's
at
good.
the time.
That's
So,
good.
you mentioned it earlier. I just love the fact that you mentioned that the physical aspect, it does so much more to you mentally and spiritually.
Absolutely,
And I
100%.
really
Yeah.
think the process of it all is what changes you, because it's like, especially when you're going through something that's really hard for you, and you're like, I don't know if I can do it, and you get through this workout that you just weren't even sure if you could get through. You just feel
Mm-hmm.
so much better, and you start to believe in yourself more. And then I think it's
Mm-hmm.
also it will reflect with other things you do that's hard in life and that you have to get through. Like, I'm thinking about this run I did with my 9-year-old a couple of weeks ago, and she started crying along the way. She really wanted to exercise with me. I said, well, if you come with me, you got to keep up. And so she really just wanted to hang with her mama. So as
Uh-huh.
we started jogging and doing things, we like doing a stop and go type of thing, jog and walk. And she gets frustrated about so many things and just starts crying. And it's sort of correlating to the workout because it's getting really hard. And by the end of this workout, she has confessed all her things that she's upset with. And we talk it through. And then I just like related
Yeah.
it to the whole workout. I'm like, you
Yeah.
see how hard that workout was? And you were like, I can't breathe. I don't think I can make it. And now we are like literally 1 block from the house. You are breathing and talking
Yeah.
fine. And it just changed her
Yeah.
entire perspective. So I just love how you related that to just how
The
physical
mental,
working out
yeah.
is just way bigger than
Mm-hmm.
just
Mm-hmm.
physical.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's
especially
100%.
during these times. So it's COVID has been going on for the past couple of months, and there's so many people on lockdown. A lot of people are depressed, like you had already mentioned. Like, their anxiety levels are up, depression is up, because this is such a big transition. Do you have
Huge.
any I guess tips for people in terms of what they may or should do, workouts they can do at home, especially I guess for people who don't work out in general? And because it's a lot of people that actually work out in the gyms and stuff, so they don't know how to do a home workout. Can you give us any tips for them of what to do during these times?
Yeah, I'm glad you touched on that because I think that people are put in to positions that they're just completely not used to being in. The lack of having as much freedom as they used to have, and can cause a huge, uh, you know, problem mentally. You know, what I mean, that depression. But um, uh, discipline is discipline. Period. And this is what I try to tell people. Motivation is motivation. Period. No matter where you get it from, you can apply it to everything. You know what I mean? So if you can become disciplined in one area, then you can apply that same discipline that you've developed across the
Mm,
board. If you can gain motivation from any area of your life, then you can take that same motivation and apply it across the
mm,
board. So, and this is why the fitness aspect that you can have, that you can gain that motivation and that positive aspect from, you can take that and apply it across the board. So there's a lot more that you can do in the home that I think people realize. And what encourages me is being able to see people doing things in their home and outside the gym. A lot of people may not have all the equipment and all the things that, everybody, some other people may have, but there's a lot of physical things that you can do with body weight. Huge. I mean, if you look at some of the gymnastics,
mm.
the
Yes.
gymnasts, I mean, they're, oh my
Muscles
God,
everywhere.
shredded. You know what I mean? They have no
Right.
Mm,
dumbbells. They don't, and it's just the discipline of training their body over and over and over again with bars and, what I
Mm-hmm.
mean, is, those type of things. So some of the things that you can do is, you could do squats at home, no
mm.
weights. You could do lunges at home, no weights. You could do push-ups at home, no weights. You could do forearm push-ups, tricep dips, glute bridges, jumping jacks, toe touches, knee
I
raises.
like it.
There's so
I
many
like
things
that.
that you can
Mm,
do at home, but people are sometimes a mental blockage, just like I said, applies across the board. That applies too. So it's just like now that you can't go out, I can't go anywhere.
mm.
I can't do anything. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so that same mentality applies across the board. Now I can't go anywhere. I can't do anything in the house. So it limits your thinking. The minute you say you can't, I mean, it just puts this blockage up. You know what I mean? So if you start expounding and say, I can do whatever I want. I can get the body I want right now. Then it's amazing how your thoughts will just start grabbing things. Well, won't you do this? Do 100 lunges. Do 20 squats, do 1,000, get 1,000 sit-ups done before the end of the week. You know what I mean? And it because you said you would. Just because you said you would, life and death is in the power of the tongue. As a man thinketh, so is he. You know what I mean? So the minute you begin to say, I'm going to be this, your body, it has no choice but to respond and react to that. It has no option because you said you would, because you chose to create that. And so now, since you said that, you start looking at things. Videos will pop up for you for home workouts. Things will start coming across your table. But there's a lot of things that you can do. I actually put up 2 home workout videos on my page, and I'll probably put up a third one today, where it's just a series of different exercises that you can do at home. But you can build the body that you want right now. But because you don't think you can, you won't. But the minute you think you can, you will. I mean, it's just a matter. It all comes down to what you believe you can do.
That is good right there. That's really good. Because what's crazy? Coming out of college and playing football, they always tell you gain that weight. And what's crazy about it, I was like 245 playing safety. And at 6'1", you perfect size. And what's crazy? When I was trying to when you're trying to lose that weight, and I was like, I need to get back to 195 to 200. Like now I'm finally at my weight, but to everybody else, it was like, what's wrong with you? You losing? You're not eating well? I was like, this way I should have been a long time ago. I was unhealthy. My blood pressure was high. All this good stuff was unhealthy, but you don't know it. And I'm glad you said it. I told myself mentally, my kids want me in life. I have to be there as a dad. And for one, I got to beat this outcome. My mind, that's so true about the mental stage of it. Your mind can set you so crazy. And with let me ask you a quick question. And this is something that you may can give some people advice. You got families out there that's suffering high blood pressure. They want to work out. They on medicine and stuff like that. What is a natural way that you can kind of get them going where they can actually motivate themselves overall so they can those healthy habits can get in place?
One of the seeing is believing, right? And the ability to have the discipline to continue to work when you don't see allows you to see
those results,
right? It's kind of like it's almost like the meme where there's a guy that's chipping away at this rock that has 10 diamonds, and there's a guy that's chipping away at a rock that has 1 diamond. And then he turns back, sees the guy that grits his 1 diamond and turns and leaves all his diamonds behind, not knowing that if he keeps chipping away at what he cannot physically see, he'll have more than he ever imagined that he would have. So for those who want results that they can't see right now, if they can maintain the discipline to go beyond what they physically see, then they'll see more than they ever imagined they would see.
Wow.
Man,
if they can get past this current moment of not seeing, then they'll get to a moment where they see more than they ever thought they'd be able to.
And Brian,
it's just consistent.
That goes for everything. That goes for everything, like you said. It's not just physical. That is literally like entrepreneurship. We just got through the entrepreneurship series.
That's life.
Everything in life. It literally is like so many people quit because they don't see like the instant results, and things are hard. But no, you have to realize if you just keep consistent and keep chipping, you are definitely going to see bigger and better. It's going to come. But I love that. I think that's why I love just like the physical aspect, because it can just relate to so many other things. I think, like I said, if you can get through a simple workout, you just think like you can extrapolate that to so many other things in life. I just love that.
You can. It applies across the board. I mean, the ability to go into for the gym, for example, right? They were talking about the fitness, the ability to go put weights on a bar, right, and get under that weight and say, I'm going to get this weight up right now. To have it come on you and to get it off of you is one of the most motivating things that, I mean, because it applies to life when the pressure really hits. You know what I mean? I apply the same practices I apply when I work out or when I'm training is the same practices I apply in real estate and all my other entrepreneurial endeavors. It's, whatever I say that's going to happen is what's going to happen. And the earth has no choice but because I said it was going to happen.
Like that.
Because I said I was going to do it.
Like
Because I said it was going to take place. It has no choice. And so, it's something. I examine my physical body as I examine my spiritual body, as I examine my mental. Because when I look in the mirror, I can say, okay, I want to pull this out. I want this. I want more denser abdominals. I want wider lats. I want thicker quads. It's the same thing that I can apply to life to say this is going to happen this way. I'm going to make this happen that way. I want this many properties. I want to do this. I want to touch on this many things. And because I've seen it happen in the physical, I can make it happen in the physical before it happens in the physical.
Wow.
I love that.
I love how you said, what's crazy as a couple, and I know you married, as we married, I always tell my wife, the way I work out and the way you work out is always going to be different. They got some couples out there feel their spouse is working out this way. So I can't get to your level. And what can you tell those couples that's dealing with that? You see one person, they own the ass, because we all are built differently. And I think you said that everybody's body type is different. How can you encourage some people? Because I know they'd be like, I ain't talking to you today. I'm going to eat these snacks because you already got it. You might not have it.
There might be a lot of households like that.
Yeah,
where it's like one person not doing it. Yeah.
That's very true.
Yeah. Well, first, that's cute. It's real cute for couples that can work out together and have a little workout. That ain't how I move. You know what I mean? I need to, first of all, I need to be lifting a certain amount of weight. So there's certain things that I need to have. Like, my wife does this dance exercise. So I'm like, all right, that's cute. You will not catch me doing no dance exercise. That's just not how I'm built.
Nothing wrong with no dance. Hold up.
Not at all. Do your thing, do your dance, do your high. You know what I mean? But that's just not, but I think that the common goal is bettering. Right, is to become overall to become better, right? And so as long as you have that same mentality as to where I'm at point A, but I'm going to get to point B, no matter if you take the bus, train, plane, or, motorcycle, dirt bike, as long as you're making progress to get to your next point, it doesn't matter. My kids, because I'm in the cutting season, my kids had Chick-fil-A the other night. I can't have Chick-fil-A. You enjoy your Chick-fil-A, but your Chick-fil-A does not bother me because mentally I know where I need to go.
That's good. Mm-hmm. That's good.
You know what I mean? Whatever, but just what you have on your plate does not affect what I put on mine because I know where I need to go and I'm going to get there. And because I said I'm going to get there, it impacts everything that I do.
So you got to keep saying it. So since that's another thing, so since you brought up Chick-fil-A, let's get into the nutrition, because nutrition is a big part. It's like one of the biggest parts of, fitness
nutrition is huge.
And getting to where you want to accomplish those goals or get those results. What do you, I guess, encourage in terms of nutrition, things that we should incorporate in our diets or how to start? For people that don't know.
All right, so this is a quick like cookie cutter. Even though, like I said, each person is different. This is something that you can use as a basis, right? The recommended amount of protein, depending on the person, is between 1 gram to 2 grams per pound, right? So some people stick to 1 gram per pound. Some people stick to 1.5. Some people stick to 2. Meaning that if you weigh 180 or if your goal is 180, there's some people that believe that I need to have 1 gram per pound. So I need to be eating 180 grams of protein per day, split up between different meals. Some people think that that's 2 grams. So some people say I need to be eating 360. You need to find your zone, right? So, but the basic principle is, like I said, between 1 gram and 2 gram per pound of your goal weight. And then you have, if you're dieting, you want to shave the amount of carbs off of the amount of protein that you eat. So the amount of carbs that you eat is less than the amount of protein, right? And the vegetables, you can have as many as you want. Now, once you have your number, if you're dieting and your number is 200 grams of protein and 160 grams of carbs, or because of your body type, your diet is 200 grams of protein and 240 grams of carbs, then you break that number up into 4 to 5 meals per day, right? So you do 8 ounces of chicken, which is about 56 grams of carbs, 56 grams of protein. So now you know how much protein you have throughout the day. And you break those up into small meals. So you want to be having about 4 meals per day, which come from the number that you have per day. So just to make it simple, real quick, let's say somebody wants to weigh 180 pounds. Let's make that person have 180 grams of protein and 160 grams of carbs. Now you find out how much you take your protein per meal, and you break it up until you reach that number, and you do that daily. All right, so that's a quick way. That's just a real quick, without sitting down and figuring out the individual, quick way to give somebody their numbers of how much they have. And you have snacks in between, which will be apple slices, grapes, fresh fruit, something like that in between meals. And the funny thing, you know what's crazy? It doesn't have to be boring. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to taste bad. It doesn't. The diet food I have now is some of the best diet, quote unquote, diet food that I've had. Just because, you know what I mean, the seasoned blends and all that, like, it doesn't have to be boring. You can enjoy what you eat while you're dieting and not have to feel like you're on a diet and be full. You know what I mean? And be full.
And that's protein to do it. I remember you had me on that protein. I'm like, dang.
Protein shake? Oh, yeah.
That protein will really have you full, and you realize, like, wow, my balance of my meals were not efficient for, like, what my body needed. And that's why you end up doing all this other snacking or loading on carbs because you're not getting enough protein and things like that. So, I think
when you think about it, like metabolism being a fire, right? Which is, I think I explained to you before. If metabolism is like a fire, and you have people eating 2 meals a day, that means that they start the fire in the morning, the fire goes out, and they're trying to start the fire again in the evening, which isn't going to help you burn calories. If you're constantly putting logs on that fire throughout the day, then you're continually having a metabolism that's spiking. And then you'll find yourself being hungry again because your metabolism is picking up, right? So now you're like, you're hungry a little bit more often because you're burning more calories. Is essentially what's happening.
So what is your, I guess, philosophy on snacking? Do you think, like, when you're in, I guess, your zone for working out and losing weight, do you throw in some, like, naughty treats in there? Or what is your philosophy?
I do. And sometimes I do, but I can get really, if I can, like, really focus, then I'm just like, you know what I mean, tunnel vision. You know what I'm saying? But and then if I do have a cheat meal, I'll be like, why did I have that?
Like,
you know what I mean? That just wasn't even worth it. But no, there's a point that you get to where you can maintain. You can start throwing in cheat meals, and it won't have a huge effect on you. It'll almost be like water weight that'll be gone the next day. So to anybody who's just beginning a diet and looking for that cheat meal, I would say go 3 weeks in. Establish that discipline of not having to go get it. You know what I mean? Allow yourself to want it and not have it. You know what I mean? So that you can show yourself that you can do this. And then about 3 weeks in, then go have a cheat meal once a week and get right back to your regimen. A cheat meal, not a cheat day. Cheat meal.
And then they say
cheat meal, and let it be whatever you want it to be.
Because they say it takes 21 days to make or break a habit. So I love that 3 weeks.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, give yourself 3 weeks to want it and be like, nah, I'm not going to do it. You know what I
mean? So, give me some tips for a new person coming in. All right, so I'm coming in. I'm brand new to working out, and I'm on my wellness tip. I've been working out. I'm coming full. I'm coming to see trainer B Mac, and I heard that I've been working out already. What are some things can you expect a person that's coming in and say, you know what, I'm coming to shred. I just want to shred, and I want to get my mentally aspect together. What are some tips that you're gonna give me right then and there? That's a hard tip too. But I think I always hit people.
Well, the first thing I want people to do is to push past their threshold, right? Because you have a lot of people who've been in the gym, people who are new, have a level that they feel like they can get to, right? As soon as they hit that level, it's almost like, all right, now we're gonna start the workout. You know what I mean? Because I want you to be able to see that you can do more than you think you can.
Wow, that's good.
You can do so much more than what you think you can do when you have somebody behind you encouraging you to do so. It goes back to what you say.
Wow.
Bro, let's go. 10 more sets. Right. 10 more reps. And it's like, yo, I'm dead. And then they do 10 more reps. Wow. And it's like, all right, let's do another set. Wow. You know what I mean? And because you can't get to your goals doing what you're used to doing. because doing what you're used to doing has brought you to where you currently are. You can only get to your goals going beyond where you're comfortable being. Period.
Wow.
Because it's going beyond where you're comfortable being that will put you where you've never been before. I mean, you can't just continue to do the same thing and expect to be something else. Expect these different results when you're just in the same box of comfort. You got to get uncomfortable. You got to feel like you're not going to be able to lift anymore. You got to feel like you can't squat anymore, and then squat some more.
I like that.
You know what I mean? You got to feel like you can't push up no more. You can't do another curl and then do another curl. And then it's doing that allows you to become who you desire to be.
Wow, I love that.
In all aspects.
Wow, and again, that relates to everything in life. You have to get in that area of discomfort. You got to get uncomfortable to grow.
You have to. You have to.
Wow.
Yeah, you have to be uncomfortable. You will never become a different individual doing the same thing you're comfortable doing. You got to get in that uncomfortable spot and embrace it. You got to learn to embrace the unknown, embrace the difficult, embrace those things that are challenging. Look for it and go into it head on so that you can come out different. I mean, it's all about, becoming a better individual for you and the people around you.
I like that.
So I know I guess that's like, you got to switch up a lot of workouts. Or do you have any apps or anything you go by? Well, I know you're a trainer, but any suggestions?
I don't personally have any apps that I go by. I do have, I do switch up my routine every 3 months. I changed up the body parts that I work together. For example, my current split, my current training program for myself will be Monday I do chest and triceps, Tuesdays I do back and biceps, Wednesday I do legs and shoulders, Thursday I do chest and tris again, Friday I do back and biceps again, Saturday I do legs and shoulders. So I make sure I hit each muscle group twice. Now, my next split may be Monday I may do arms, Tuesday I may do chest and back, but I change it so that my body doesn't become comfortable. I change up my scheduling so that my body doesn't become comfortable with what I'm doing and can continue to develop the way I wanted to. So it is about, changing the program. And then there's some people that I just look up to, like, there's your Kai Greens. I watch his workouts. He's a bodybuilder. Or I used to watch a lot of Michael Sheets, who's another bodybuilder. And, there's just these different fitness enthusiasts that I would watch, and I would pick different things from their workout that I saw. I'd be like, yo, that's dope, because I can see what they're doing, and then I would apply it. You know what I mean?
So B, quick question. So my barber he actually do competition, right? So he actually was my strength coach, kind of giving me hints in there and stuff to do. So do you do competition at all? Are you involved in competition?
I did a smaller competition a few years back. I was considering doing one. You know what? I put my mind to that thought process since we went in COVID. I told myself, I said, look, when I come out of COVID, I'm going to come out better when I go back to the gym, just so I can mentally get myself in that place to not slack or have any days off or feel like just because the gym is closed that I can't kill myself in my own spot. So I put my mind to a place where I was thinking at the end of this, I'm going to see how things look to consider doing the show. But I've done one a few years back. And it's something that I have considered. Just it's one of those things when you're so enriched into the lifestyle of it, because the fitness, it's a lifestyle. The bodybuilding is a lifestyle. It's you get used to. It's a lingo. It's a it's a community. And so when you're so enriched and drenched in it that you can begin to consider those type of scenarios and those things. Those are things that you definitely begin to look into. So it's something that I would.
So do you also recommend like products or nutritions? Like some people take weed. Yeah. So do you recommend that you just do natural workouts? I mean,
I do recommend the nutrition. I am coming out with my own nutrition line. So I'm coming out with my own nutrition line. So I'm not going to recommend nobody's but mine.
So you want to
look out for that.
Tell us about it now, or you got it going, or you want to?
Yeah. So also, I'm going to be relaunching my clothing line, my fitness apparel. So the nutrition is going to have it's going to more than likely start out with a pre-workout which is something you take, before you go in and you start training, which helps to give you the energy and the mental clarity that you need for the workout. Then it'll be the BCAAs, which you take during your workout for muscle recovery. And then it'll be the proteins, which you take afterwards to feed your muscles. And then it'll be the fat burners, which you take in the morning to help you burn fat. So it'll be a whole line. Looking at the first product to be that pre-workout though. And then the clothing line is just going to be, I reached out to some of the athletes that are going to be representing the brand and got them all prepared. Looking at different manufacturers now, coming up with the design. So, listen, man, I'm
You're
coming.
on it. I love it.
So
how can people, I guess, keep up with what you're doing, like your product line? Do you have a website?
The website will be back up. They can follow me on IG right now at BMacMoFit. Everything will be pushed through that out to the different streams.
At BMacMoFit, and that's BMacMoFit. BMac. Y'all heard it. He has some great tips and tools.
It's coming.
Yes, I love it. So since we're talking about all this entrepreneurial stuff that I just love, you sort of took a break from the physical training aspect earlier this year before COVID hit, amazingly. And you are stepping out into it's real estate, but was that your main?
That's always been my main source of income. It's a family business. My father started investing when I was a youngin'. And when I was a teenager, I used to run tickets. Like I would run to all the different properties and do the maintenance, help our maintenance team with some of the maintenance tickets as a teenager. Then when I was in college, I became more of the overseeing process along with running tickets. And when I graduated in elementary education, which has nothing to do with what I'm doing. When I graduated, I came on full force and took over more of the managerial, and then eventually became a partner. Now, when I became a partner is when I started setting my sights more on the expanding on what my father had already created. And so just felt like last year, I just felt like it was time to go full steam ahead and set my sights on just a full expansion. So this year, I just been late last year into this year, I've just been digging, and we've been expanding and growing, and it all goes back to what I personally said I would achieve, or what we would achieve together, and making sure that those things take place, and focusing in on those things, and making sure those things take place. But I think that being away from the training has also, sparked that fire again to get the supplements out and to redo the clothing brand. But I can manage that while still doing what I do. Yeah, it's not as
That's
time.
what I was going to ask you too. Like, how were you able to balance all of these things? But I know, like you said, like something has to probably go down to increase the activity on another side. So, wow.
Yeah, you don't realize that until you. I didn't realize how much more I could give to the expansion of what we're doing now until I gave it. And then, it's like you put glasses on, and I felt like I could see, but now I can see a whole lot more. It's like, yo, it's this, you know what I mean? But you don't realize that. You feel like you can see fine until you put one thing down and pick something else up and realize how much better you can see.
I just love that story about how your father started off and just passing it along, that generational wealth and the legacy. And I'm sure you'll pass that on to your children. I just love to see.
Yeah, that's very, very, very important to me. That's extremely important to me. Like I would, one of the goals that I have, and I'd say this all the time, I'd just be like, Forbes 2030. And it's just something that I put out there to keep my mind set on growth. You know what I mean? Just growing, just becoming better, just creating a legacy, just building a legacy for my children and my children's children, and staying the course. You know what I mean? Just staying the course.
Wow. That's a lot to be said about that. I love it.
That's amazing.
Goodness.
B, before we even end this, man, what's one thing you want to tell the people just about Brian B. Mac when they see you or when they hear you? Some positive words or some empowerment that you want to leave the people with?
I'm just a simple man with great goals, man. You know what I mean? It's just it's just a lot of things that I want to accomplish, and I believe that anybody who believes that they can accomplish anything can accomplish it. No matter what those things are, whatever you aspire to become it. And don't look for somebody else to say whether or not you can. You know what I mean? So often we look for somebody to second hand us to say, yeah, you can do that. And we wait on that. Forget that. Whatever it is that you want to do, go do it. And you don't need no second person. You don't need any second person to say that you can or cannot. Just do it. Just make it happen. Just go get it. Just begin to believe that you can and take steps towards it.
Man, you motivated me right now, and I'm an empowerment speaker, man. I feel like I'm do extra sets today. Like, you got me a little extra set today, man. I'm trying to tell you, man. Listen, guys, you just heard it, man, from B-Mac, man, Brian. Make sure you're checking him out on Instagram, guys. Look him up, man.
100%.
He's a phenomenal trainer. I know my wife come and say, my body hurting. He worked me out really good.
That's that good
so
hurt,
guess
though.
what? I knew
that's that good hurt.
I knew that was her goal. I knew that's what she wanted to do, and she felt comfortable in doing what she had to do to get to the next level. And I like what you said, B. Make sure you keep your goals and don't let nobody stop you from your goals, man.
Nobody can. It doesn't matter what's happening. 10 people can be around you doing 10 different things. Focus on what you're going to do.
That, man.
You know what I mean? Because the minute you look here, it's almost like you can be so focused on what you said you're going to do. And then the minute you see somebody else doing something interesting, it's like, you know what I mean? Just dig, just focus, just go. You know what I mean? And nothing that happens around you will have an effect on you. It does not matter what other people are doing. You know what I mean? This is why I can applaud people who have success. Yo, that's beautiful because you're successful. That just encourages more that I can be more successful.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Because you did it, that just encourages me more.
Yeah.
That's right.
You bleed like I bleed.
And
I love it. You get 24 hours like me. You can do it. Yo, that's beautiful. I don't understand. I don't understand.
Yeah, hating, yeah.
You know what I mean? Somebody else can do it. That should be more motivating for you.
Yes, and that's why we brought you on, Brian. And we just wanted to encourage people. Like, Brian is from our community, guys. Yeah. He's from us, our people doing it, creating legacy. And guess what? Doing so many things, opening up his eyes, thinking outside of the box, creating more things in the future. So we want you guys to know that, guess what? Y'all can do it too in any aspect of your life.
Anybody. You can do anything that you said you could do.
The brother spoke about God. That just tell you his personality. And he didn't say he's perfect with God, but he spoke about God. You got to understand you're going to have trips, you're going to have trials, you're going to have tribulations. He spoke about God, and you got to move this with God, guys. That's why we're doing this wellness and this health, and we helping out someone else. Again, that's what we're here for. Like B said, I hate selfishness as well. And that's what you got to do. Share the wealth. That's why we're doing it, man. Again, it's your boy, Coach B.
And it's Cammy.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys. Stay tuned.
This is exclusive hot